hashing day!
Saturday is a day of rest.
Saturday is a day of rest. Oh, we're the dark side. We're the anti-runners.
Beer.
Hashing is basically a recreational exercise that involves a little bit of running, a little bit of following trail, and a whole lot of having fun.
Hashing is non-competitive, and we want to keep it that way. I think some serious runners would think we were silly and sophomoric, which we are.
He puckered up his little asshole. Asshole, 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 asshole. He puckered up his little...
So they just kind of roll their eyes?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And there's a large percentage. Actually, trail running is becoming a lot more popular now, which is what basically we're doing, because you guys have done one of our really good trails. And I mean, we do the whole, getting dressed up and drinking and shit, but what's fun about hashing is actually running the trail.
Oh, the light's blinking.
I mean, it's running in the woods and getting, dirty and running through the briars and all that stuff.
Yeah! Ow!
It's like a really raunchy co-ed cross country with rugby songs at the end. One or two or three people will lay a trail in flour, and the pack will follow the trail, and at the end we get together and drink beer. Every one I've ever been to operates on the same basic framework. We'll get together before, wherever we're gathering, everybody get in a circle, and the hares, the person or persons who are laying the trail or have laid the trail for that day, will tell the pack, give them any special instructions they need.
Chiggers, there are mosquitoes, there are turtles on the trail.
Mosquitoes, ticks,
Turtles.
Really pissed off geese.
What about group sex?
So do you enjoy laying the trail?
I do, because it's a different challenge, because instead of trying to figure out trail, you're trying to trick the people who are running it.
Basically, it's just you go out and you try to find some area that you think would be fun and challenging to run through, maybe have a few confusing aspects to it. Not necessarily be too difficult, but just provide some opportunities for people to run on pavement, run through the woods, run down some creeks, crawl through some tunnels, climb some trees. Just try to mix it up a little bit and make it a little challenging. You try to keep the pack together. In other words, throw in a few checks, throw in a few hash holes, because the whole idea is if you're going to keep the people together having fun, you want to make sure they don't get strung out too much.
Way off in the distance in the woods, you hear these sort of echoes of on, and that's how you navigate.
It's really kind of fun to sort of get out there, and it's like a puzzle, and you kind of have to figure out what the hares were trying to think.
On two left!
Take a look.
Because it was military and because hashing is very egalitarian, they used hash names to preserve anonymity. Well, actually, let's go around and do introductions, since we do have virgins, and then I'll bring him into the circle.
Crimson Gay.
To Sharon.
Ass Clown.
Just Dan.
Finger looking good.
Briar Breast.
You really have to earn your hash name. You have to do something stupid on trail, or something memorable, or something that just causes us to, give you a name.
I fell down. I fell down in spectacular fashion. I was running on a trail, and there were little shoots of greenery coming up, and I found the one shoot of greenery with a stump in it. And I fell and then bounced.
So what's your name now?
Goes down hard.
Okay.
Hashing started in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia in 1938.
Some English soldiers were there, and one of the captains or something wanted sort of to do something fun to try to get these guys in shape.
There's a very old English game called Hare and Hounds. It's the game that the English used to teach children how to fox hunt.
So he used that same concept of marking a trail with flour or shredded paper to try to make it fun for his soldiers, a fun way to get in shape, and promised them like beer and everything afterwards.
They met at a club called the Sangalore Club, which was where a lot of the expatriates hung out and Kuala Lumpur. And it was the food apparently wasn't very good, so it was affectionately known as the hash house.
Of course, a harrier is a very old English term for any cross-country runner.
So that's kind of the history, how hashing got started. And it really started out of the military, and then after like World War II, after all the soldiers retired, went different places, that's where hashes have just proliferated all over the world.
Everywhere you go, you can find hashes. Last year, we had 1,000 people go down to Costa Rica. This past year, there was like 5,000 go to England for the World Hash. So, I mean, it is well known to some extent. But yeah, it's not mainstream by any stretch.
Just go off to any country or any city, even if it's in England or whatever, but just find another hash, join them, and they'll welcome you in. Stay at the houses, do whatever you want. And even if they're not hashing, just phone them up. You can go and have a beer with somebody in any city.
It's nothing official. Technically there's no rules, there's no national organization. To me it's just fascinating that you can go, if you would go to the hash in Cleveland, it's the same group of people doing the same thing, but there's never any real connection between the two.
When you're finished with the hash, when you come in to the end of the trail, that's the on-in.
Anyhow, since shut up and kiss me, our religious advisor is not here. Gay Donkey Punch is our stunt religious advisor. So I'm now going to turn the circle over him to talk to the virgins.
After the trail, everybody gets together and we circle up again. And this is when we have what you alluded to, we give out down downs.
We're going to do something wonderful and simple. It's called a down down.
House respect!
We are going to sing you a song. At the end of the song, we're going to start chanting down, 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 down. When we do so, you place your beverage upon your lips and you chug the contents. Whatever is left in the container goes over your head.
Head! Who said head? I'll have some of that!
A down down is a very simple thing, as you've heard already. People are singled out for any kind of misbehavior on trail, and it's always something humorous. We bring them into the circle, and they have to drink a beer after we sing them a very rude song. We have a whole lot of rude songs that we sing.
So they say, try to go to heaven, but they're down the other way. Drink it down, 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 down. Here's to Brother Hasher, Brother Hasher, Brother Hasher. Here's to Brother Hasher, may he chug a lug.
And what about hashing appeals to you?
It's an escape for a couple of hours. It's especially if you've seen the trails through the woods, if you don't pay attention, you're going to get hurt. So you don't have to worry about your job or a relationship, wherever. You just go. And for those 2 or 3 hours, it's escape.
I feel like I'm 10 years old sometimes, just running through the puddles and getting dirty and, crawling through culverts and splashing in the creek and climbing over fences and stuff. That's a lot of fun.
It's a great way to meet friends, have a relax, have a beer, get a bit of exercise, solve puzzles, eat chips.
The hash is basically my extended family, and I think most people would say that. All of my friends are hashers.
The traditions are still there. I mean, we run and drink beer. People try to dress it up. They try to fancy it up. It doesn't need dressing up. Doesn't need fancying up. It's a trail and it's beer and it's the comradeship that we have, and thankfully that will never stop.
When I'm 90 years old, I'll be in a wheelchair and following the turkey trail. But yeah, no, I don't ever see myself not doing this.
If we can put a baby carriage on trail, I figure they can put a wheelchair on trail.
Yeah.
I'll do it as long as I'm able.
Hashers, meet the hashers. They're the biggest drunks in history. From the town of Perry, leaders in the bottery. Half minds, trailing shaking through the years. Watch us as we down a lot of beers. Down, 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 down. Fucking hash is over. Here's to Brother Hasher, Brother Hasher, Brother Hasher. Here's to Brother Hasher, may he chug a lug. He's happy, he's jolly, he's fucked up by golly. Here's to Brother Hasher.